Just here from my back to a new Family Odd Parents episode review. And if you haven't seen the last one, go and check it out. And we're back with a new reviewing of my favorite Fairly Odd Parents episode. And this is another good special that I enjoy. And yeah, it starts with Norm and the mayor of Dimsdale, and yeah, so in this video, so you've got yourself a genie, and showing all these different things as well, and just asking for something stupid like a huge sandwich, and of course asking for like fame and fortune, and then getting sucked back into the lamp. And yeah, the mayor wants to become mayor of the world, and Norm is trying to decide of stuff to read during the big dumb second wish, and he finds the Rolls book, which apparently Cosmo gave to him, and we see, like, of course Cosmo would give something like that to a genie, and we see what to do when a fairy godparent quits, and saying be filled by any magical creature. And yeah, he gets the idea of trying to get some fairy godparent to quit so he can take the place. And he sees a picture of Timmy, Cosmo, and Wanda and knows just the ones to do it. And yeah, apparently Mayor of the World is not working out for the mayor. And yeah, Chester is going to AJ, but AJ's going to college. And yeah, of course, he's not knowing what to do since, of course, he couldn't play with Timmy because he's cleaning the attic, but he's just blasting into space. And then Timmy's dad saying that he can't come out because they're spending the day together. And yeah, he's not knowing what to do since his friend or any of his friends are around to play with him right now. Which then he gets Norm's lamp, and Norm, of course, gets him 3 wishes, and of course, the first one, which he doesn't have to wish for because he already knows it. And then, yeah, Cosmo and Wanda getting Timmy up, which, yeah, he's too lazy to even put on his clothes. And of course, Wanda is saying that we're not like your slaves. And, yeah, Norm comes over, which, of course, Timmy freaks out. And, yeah, Cosmo turning into a carrot. While we see all these weapons and stuff come and locking Timmy. And, yeah, Cosmo gets carried away by a rabbit. And, yeah, Norm says that he comes in peace. And brings this giant candy bar. Which, of course, Wanda loves chocolate. And for Cosmo, Norm gives him some string, which, yeah, Cosmo can pretty much... Cosmo is a person that you think that would be just entertained with anything, especially with string, which Timmy is wondering what Norm got for him, which he's telling him of how he's Chester's master, and he's got himself a little deal of hanging out with wants to hang out with Chester, and even bringing this clone that Norm created to take in Timmy's place, which then Norm is like, you know what to do to the clone. And yeah, Norm is just in his lamp watching the events unfold, which, yeah, we see Timmy and Chester having fun, and then the clone just causing misery to Cosmo and Wanda, having fun with Chester, causing misery with Cosmo and Wanda, having fun with Chester, causing misery for Cosmo and Wanda. Again, it just shows how evil that Norm is, right? That Norm is of an antagonist. Up there with Crocker. Yeah, we see Chester and Timmy had a great day, and Timmy's heading back home, which, of course, Cosmo and Wanda are not pleased of how they've been treated. And yeah, he's using their fist bowl to pour some boiling water and spits in their face. And yeah, of course, Timmy, the actual Timmy, overhears it, and they quit. Yeah, they quit being his family godparent. And yeah, the clone just opens the door, letting them leave. Even though that wasn't the real one. And Timmy, of course, is wondering what the clone did. And yeah, of course, Norm, being all smug, saying of how he lost his fairly godparents. And now Jorgen comes to Timmy, and now gonna erase his memory of him having fairy godparents. But apparently, it wasn't the actual Timmy. It was the clone. Yeah, because the actual Timmy is in the closet, and he sees that Cosmo and Wanda are gone. And then we see on the news of how Cosmo and Wanda quit, and yeah, they didn't want to quit, being fairly godparents. And yeah, Jorgen doing this fairly idle competition announcing, and yeah, we see Norm sees Chester's dad being the worst baseball player, which he gets an idea, which yeah, Chester wishes his dad could be the greatest baseball player, which it does, and see all of these expansions, and yeah, Chester's dad without his bag over his head, we see, and Timmy needing a way to get to Fairy World, which of course we see Crocker making a portal to Fairy World and gets knocked out with some gas, which yeah, Timmy makes it to Fairy World and sees on the news that we see everybody gathering to the Fairly Idol competition, which yeah, we see this witch that gets hit, and then the two fairies singing, and then these gnomes. Then yeah, Chester's dad apparently too popular to be able to hang out with his son, which of course Chester is not wanting this. And then we see that, muscular guy, right, and April Fool's jester, Cupid, and one of those other fairies. Not sure exactly what kind of fairies they are. But, and of course, Norm comes, and Cosmo, Wanda, and yeah, the jester tries to do his, but yeah, everybody's all silent, and Timmy needs to find a way to get in, which, yeah, the security guard gets knocked out by the April Fool's jester, and yeah, Timmy gets caught by security, and we see that the best ones are Cupid and the other guy, which again, I know him, but I just cannot remember his name. And then we see the ones that are coming up. And yeah, Timmy gets put in a cage, and yeah, he realizes that they didn't even take his bag, which yeah, he finds a disguise. And yeah, we see this rapping song, which everybody's just all silent with as well. Cosmo and Wanda getting caught with a net, which we see Timmy disguised as Crocker. And yeah, Chester getting a banjo and seeing his house with different people, and yeah, Chester's dad getting carried away and going with these girls, and yeah, Timmy trying to tell Cosmo and Wanda that wasn't him that was torturing or doing all those things to them. It was a clone that Norm made, which of course, yeah, Cosmo, apology accepted when it comes to the apology cookie. But of course, Wanda's like, I'm not sure if I should forgive you. But yeah, again, Cosmo liking the cookie, but Wanda's like, I don't know. And yeah, Chester's place is all wrecked. And apparently, Chester and his dad are broke, which they take their house. And yeah, Jorgen is wondering who doesn't recognize Timmy, which Cosmo is like, he's our pet beaver. And then we get one of my favorite songs in this special with Norm sings. And yeah, of course, Cosmo and Wanda are not knowing what to do, which, yeah, we get the whole song with Norm of Give Me the Wand song on, him wanting to be a fairy godparent. And yeah, Cosmo getting this, how to sing like this female singer. And you just see him singing like her in a very funny way. And yeah, them just both going after Jorgen, trying to get the wand. And then we see the people that are disqualified, and it is between Norm and Cosmo and Wanda. And of course, everybody's wanting him to rate it, which Cosmo and Wanda are the winners. They're able to go back to Earth. But of course, Norm, having his evil ways, distracting Jorgen with string and causing this net to fall on Cosmo and Wanda, which they don't have any of their powers when they're under a net. And we see this wrecking ball slamming into them, knocking them out. And yeah, have no choice but to make Norm a fairy godparent. And yeah, we even see of who will be the child, most miserable child that Norm will be getting. And yep, it is of course Chester, which they take his dad away. And yeah, get his crown, his wand, even some wings, which yeah, he's gonna have to staple onto him. And yeah, Chester of course not knowing what to do, which then Norm comes, and of course Chester wishes everything to normal. And yeah, Norm, after he does that, he's off, which he gives him this thing to doll him if he needs anything. Which yeah, he got this fez hat and in this car, and yeah, Timmy's just all upset of what he'd done. And yeah, his tears seem to have healed them and or done something. And yeah, he thinks they poofed away into dust, but no. They're managed to be brought back, and yeah, Cosmo poking his eye and getting better, and Jorgen slamming the door on them, and thinking they turn into dust, and Chester having an idea of what his next wish would want to be, and yeah, it gets Norm, which you're going to see that Norm is going to get frustrated, and probably have his regrets of being a fairy godparent. Because Chester, he wants to save the world. And yeah, Norm was at a game. And yeah, giving him this carpet. And yeah, while he's trying to relax, of course he goes back to Chester. And he makes this desert rain and making the camels sink. And then he goes to the North Pole and see them all freezing. Which calls Norm again and says for it to be all hot, which yeah, the Earth and goes closer to the sun, which causes the North Pole to melt, and then calls Norm up again, wanting all the smart people to have hair, all bald people to have hair, and apparently, even though Cosmo and Wanda are able to be fairy godparents again, they are still technically not Timmy's fairy godparents anymore because they quit of being his family godparents, so they can't do anything for him, so they have no choice but to just take the long way home. And yeah, Chester wondering of how everything is, which the stuff that he did, which yeah, everything is disastrous, I will say. And he sees of how it's his fault. And then he sees Timmy and calls Norm again. And Chester wishes Norm to be Timmy's fairy godparent. And yeah, then he overhears Norm. Chester overhears Norm and realizes of what he's done. And we see 2 weeks later, Timmy is not going to make any wish to Norm for 2 weeks. And we see what happens if a fairly godparent doesn't make any wishes for so long time, they're gonna puff and explode into confetti, which we see. And yes, this Santa Claus going to these female genies, and yeah, of course, making a deal. And yeah, Jorgen coming to do his memory permanently, and taking the wings and the wand and the crown away from Norm, and him becoming a genie once again, and Chester having one wish, and it was for everything to go back to the way it was, and you to be trapped in your lamp. And yeah, all the smart people getting bald again, and yeah, Norm getting sucked into his lamp again, and Jorgen and Timmy just not knowing what just happened. And yeah, everything seems to be the way it was. And Timmy is like, well, almost. And yeah, he gets everything. He gets dressed, and he tells his fairy godparents to enjoy their day off with no magic. Which, yeah, Timmy goes to hang out with Chester. And of course, Wanda's like, wait, how long did he say that he'll be gone? 24 hours later, they turn into confetti. But yeah, a really good special I enjoy from this show. Especially just shows how evil Norm is.